Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here, bringing to you guys episode 3 of Assassin's Pride. So, anyways, with last episode, Marita finally made her debut on a big stage in the eyes of the public, I guess you could say, in regards to her usage of mana, right? Now, personally, I'm still quite confused as to why people don't recognize that her mana system or the abilities that she's using is different from that of her supposed abilities, which is a paladin class, and she's instead using samurai class, right? But hopefully that will be something that's being explained in this episode, or rather quickly, right? I do want to learn more about these particular systems of this world because that was the thing that drew me into this in the first place. Like, I'm not exactly impressed by the dialogue and all that, nor the the setting of the characters, if you will. It still feels very unnatural to me. With any luck, they'll try to push on either, make them more believable, or at least maybe, or heck, if they want to completely disregard that, that's okay, as long as the future stories are compelling. But anyways, right now we should still be in the tournament, and it should be the case of Marita facing up her cousin, Elisa, right? So that's what I believe is going to happen. Let's see if that is the case. Alrighty, so in this episode, they actually started with the opening, which, by the way, I still think is the best thing about this anime so far. But I've already skipped it for your convenience, since we don't need to listen to the whole thing again. I mean, I listened to it. You guys can listen to it by yourself. So anyways, we'll start from where the episode begins in 3, 2, 1, play. Wait, are they already done with this? You know. Mm. The land of eternal light. Okay, so he wasn't a noble before? Hmm. Maybe that's the reason why he's attracted to Marita? Because she's also not exactly of noble heritage? Hmm. So I guess she really did lose to Ellie in last episode. I thought that was like a foreshadowing of this episode, but judging by what things are going on, I don't think they're in the tournament anymore. Alright. Okay, so the tournament is actually over. Um, mm, mm. Okay. I guess Elise doesn't want to stand out, actually. And maybe this is about the time that the big bad organization starts to do something. Like, could the anime be even more obvious at what it's trying to do? I don't know if it's just because I've seen too many anime or manga or read too many light novels. The Night Gene. Compete with mana users. Groomface. Oh? Hmm. And why would you want to do that? Okay. She has a fear of these lycanthropes. You know, if I instead of looking at this seriously, and instead treat it as sort of a parody or something, I think my enjoyment of the series would be much better. I mean, she has been facing them for a long time. Well, let me guess, Kufa's gonna come at like the last moment or something? What? I get this Chuny as well. Ugh. My evilness. And here's the... Okay. I wasn't expecting her. And since when were you two this good with each other? And what, did she fall for him or something like that? I'm sorry, I'm retorting everything here, right? In Japanese we call it tsukomi. But I feel like that's the only way for me to actually enjoy this series. This... Oh, Chimera, alright. He has a mana stealing power, or at least inhibition power, similar to what he used on... What, is that his arm? What? He cut off his arm in order to continue using mana as well. Okay, so she is special in a sort of way. Slash to the back. Not quite. Breaking the limit? If he is that strong, then how did he make himself... How is he even harmed? He's just gonna put his arm... What? What? Okay. Okay, so that's why the tags had vamp... alright. Oh, so that is paladin power. Alright. Huh. Huh. Alright, I definitely did not see that coming. Yes, I guess. Literally and figuratively. A fun carnival. The dance? Alright. Alright, is this the actual end now, or are they going to show some more scenes here? Okay, it seems that this is the actual end. Alright. I'll see you guys in a few. Alrighty, so that was episode 3, and I talked shit on the episode throughout nearly the entire episode, right? And let's be honest here, a lot of it is probably deserved. However, I will fully admit that I did not see the twist coming at the end there, where Kufa turned into, it's revealed Kufa is a vampire, right? And I've gotta admit, that whole transformation and, yeah, the implications of it made this story a whole lot more interesting than it did, when it was starting out. So, well, first of all, Vampire Kufa is pretty cool looking, you know, his smile, his abilities and whatnot, it's pretty cool. And also, this opens up a lot of possibilities, such as him having an ulterior motive in helping Marita, right? And which would be much, at least to me, would be much more believable than just love at first sight and then suddenly willing to sacrifice everything just for the sake of love, right? Like, okay, I'm sure some romantics would like that and all that, but we never really see any evidence of this within the episode as we see so far, and it's just, I don't know, it just feels too unrealistic to me. However, if he actually has a good reason here, that would make it much more believable that he wants to, you know, sort of guide Marita and shape her into someone who can carry out his own goals, missions, values, right? Which remains to be seen, but I would venture a guess right now and say it's probably something to do with doing away with the current caste system and inequality, right? So, such as the powers only being passed down through the nobility bloodlines and whatnot. Maybe potentially he wants to change this kind of situation, considering that I'm guessing that he probably does come from a more lowly background, right? So, more commoner and perhaps even less or even beneath commoners, if you will. So that's what I'm going for right here. However, with that all being said, that is I feel like the shining point of this anime so far and of this episode, right? The rest, you know, it's just so cliche and predictable, right? In the way that it was, you know, all the scenes were carried out. Like, I mean, okay, so when you watch a lot of anime or read a lot of manga or light novels, it's expected that you will know how things carry out, right? But I feel like even more so than a lot of other tropey anime, this one is so so predictable in what it's trying to do next. With it's basically going like clockwork, like 1, 2, 3. We meet these conditions, and so the next thing that will happen is this, and it just. I don't know, it's just unoriginal in that sense. And even without talking about the current, the current story as it is right now, the storyboard, and I'm talking about the animation here, right? The fundamentals of it is also quite mediocre here. Especially for the storyboard, for this episode, there is a big continuity problem, with all the scenes jumping all over the place. So some examples would be like the characters warping to different positions with an angle switch, right? Like typically when you look at the same scene, good cinematography of animation would choose to use different angles to show the exact same scene, right? And yet, every time there was a scene change or something, it seemed like the characters warped to another place or whatnot. It's just, it just felt very low tier. Like, it's hard to describe because the anime has some spurts of good animation, particularly for instance, when the characters are using a move or something. However, in terms of the actual the normal animations, like when they're talking with each other or anything not related with battles or fights, it's like jumping all over the place, right? The quality of it drops a lot compared to its battle animation, and that is really jarring, honestly. And also it's just clunky in a certain sense, right? Especially with the scenes where, such as when Marita was trying to escape from the organization, right? And trying to use different methods, trying to, first of all, she toppled over a fossil, and then she ripped apart some clothing to make a improvised weapon and whatnot, so on and so forth. And a lot of it just felt very clunky, right? It's not fluid. It's not fluid animation there. So the quality, even if we're going back to the fundamental stuff, just the quality of the animation itself also dropped a lot here. Now, so the story right now is nothing to really write home about, right? And the animation, this is also quite mediocre. In terms of the characters, to say something good about it, I will give Marita props, right? She at least was trying to be resourceful here. She was proactive. She didn't waste too much time, being stuck in her own emotions and whatnot. She acted pretty quickly. Those are all positives. However, it still seems very unnatural in the way that she does things. I don't know if it's because there's not enough of character building beforehand, so we're not really able to see how to understand that what shaped her to be the way she is right now. There's not enough character development for her to back up her current behavior, right? We know some of it, like she's had a hard childhood, and she's tried her best to become a good fighter and whatnot, and train her skills, but still, it's, her character development as it is right now, her doing those things just seem very unnatural, right? And I don't know, the whole scene with them really seemed like it was elementary kids and just going around and doing stuff versus adults, right? And I guess in a sense that is to be expected, because I actually looked it up. There apparently Marita and all the other girls within the academy, or at least of her same level, are only 13, right? So they literally just graduated from elementary school in terms of our our real modern education, right? So I guess in that sense they accomplished that feeling that it's just a bunch of kids running around, but at the same, that really takes a lot of the how should I say it, like, how did they even have a chance in the first place, right? It's just, I don't know. Like, the entire time I was watching the episode, I was actually thinking of a series I did last season, Musings&Review retry, right? So that one is, like, the reason why that one kept popping up to me is because Musings&Review retry is a very bad quality animation, right? Like, let's be honest here. Even though I love the original material to death, the anime of it was really not that good. Especially in terms of the animation quality, but still, at least that one, it wasn't trying to be serious, right? It was more of a meta it basically made fun of itself, and so it wasn't taking itself seriously at all. And so in that case, I was able to enjoy it a lot more because it knows that it's shit and it's just making the best of what's given to it, right? For this, however, for Assassin's Pride, I feel like it's trying to be serious, but I really, really can't take it seriously due to all the other, all the points I mentioned up to now, right? So if it was trying to be more of a meta anime, or it's sort of like making a joke at itself, taking a piss at itself, I could probably accept it a lot more. But if it's trying to be serious here, I don't know. It's just as I said within the episode, I feel like I enjoyed this episode much more if I'm able to basically talk shit about it while I'm watching it, right? And laugh at the dialogue and the unrealistic characters and so on and so forth. Which, to be honest, might be the way to enjoy this series, right? So I will be giving it one more episode just to feel it out. To see if I want to continue it, right? So currently, I'm still on the fence. I did like the development in terms of Vampire Kufa, and I'm still waiting for the actual development of the main storyline here, especially how it relates with all the different classes and whatnot. And especially in this episode, it's revealed that Marita actually does have Paladin lineage within her. So hey, that changes a lot of things again. So yeah, I'll give it one more episode and then we'll see from there, right? Currently, at least, it wasn't. I was afraid that my perception of this anime was going to keep going down, but with this episode, I will say that it rose a little bit, just a little bit. Even though there's bad animation, to me, an interesting story is much more important than having high quality animation. So that's something that I'm willing to look over. So there we go. That's my review for Assassin's Pride Episode 3. I'll see you guys next week as well. Bye bye.